Imagine a world lost in time, an island so unique, so biologically distinct, it's been called the eighth continent. Here, adrift from the rest of the world, evolution took a different path, conducting its boldest experiment. The result? Creatures so strange they defy belief. This is Madagascar. Adrift in the Indian Ocean, it has been isolated for over 80 million years. In this magnificent isolation, a single group of animals, castaways on a forgotten voyage, exploded into an astonishing array of forms. They are primates, our distant cousins, but not as we know them. They are the ghosts of the forest. They are the lemurs. Today, over 100 different species of lemur live here and nowhere else on Earth. They sing like whales, leap like kangaroos, and possess a social intelligence that rivals any primate. But their private world, this miraculous evolutionary bubble, is shrinking. How did this incredible family of animals come to be? How did they conquer an entire island? And why, after millions of years of unparalleled success, do they now stand on the precipice of extinction? To find the answers, we must travel back in time, to a journey that should have been impossible. Around 60 million years ago, a freak storm tore a chunk of coastal forest from mainland Africa. Clinging to this floating island of vegetation, a small band of primitive primates began an epic voyage into the unknown. They were not monkeys or apes, but an ancient lineage that would soon be outcompeted and vanish from the rest of the world. For weeks, they drifted, helpless against the currents, tormented by sun and thirst. The odds of survival were infinitesimal. But against all odds, they made landfall. They had arrived in paradise, a land with no competition, no monkeys, no apes to fight for food, and crucially, almost no predators to hunt them. This was their Eden, a blank slate for evolution. And in this Eden, they would flourish beyond imagination. From that single, accidental arrival, lemurs began to diversify, filling every available niche. They became the grazers, the fruit eaters, the insect hunters, the nectar drinkers. Over millions of years, they evolved into giants that beggar belief. Megalodapus, the koala lemur, was a slow-moving, powerful climber, larger than a sheep. Paleopropithecus, the sloth lemur, spent its life hanging upside down from branches, some weighing up to 200 pounds, moving with a ponderous grace. And the largest of them all, Archaeoindris, was the size of a male gorilla, a gentle giant that roamed the forest floor, shaping the very structure of the forest as it fed. For millennia, these megafauna ruled the island, but their paradise would not last. Around 2,000 years ago, a new primate arrived, one that would change Madagascar forever: humans. The arrival of humans, combined with a changing climate, spelled doom for the giants. Their slow reproductive rates and large, unwary bodies made them easy targets. Within centuries, all of the giant lemurs, dozens of species, were gone. All that remains are their fossilized bones, and the legacy carried by their smaller, faster, and perhaps luckier surviving cousins. Perhaps the most famous of all is the ring-tailed lemur. Unlike most of their relatives, they spend much of their time on the ground, striding through the gallery forests with confidence. And in their world, it's the females who rule. Troops are strictly matriarchal. Females get the best food, lead the group's movements, and are dominant in every way. It is the ultimate expression of girl power in the animal kingdom. But males still need to compete for mating rights, and they do it in a most peculiar way. They engage in stink fights. Using powerful scent glands on their wrists and chests, they impregnate their long tails with a personal perfume. The males then wave their scented tails at each other in a display of aromatic aggression. No blood is shed. It's a war of odors, where the most pungent, most intimidating male wins. And then there is this, a morning ritual. It looks like serene meditation, but its purpose is purely practical. Lacking the thick fat reserves of many primates, lemurs need to thermoregulate. The sparse fur on their bellies acts like a solar panel, allowing them to absorb the morning sun's heat, warming up for the day ahead. It's an iconic pose from an iconic lemur. In the bizarre, spiny forests of the south lives a true acrobat, the sifaka. This is a landscape of thorns, a vertical world where moving is a dangerous proposition. The sifaka's powerful legs are built for one thing: explosive leaping. They can launch themselves over 30 feet in a single bound, a vital skill in a forest where every surface is covered in daggers. But their specialization for leaping comes at a cost. Their anatomy is so geared towards vertical clinging and leaping that on the ground, their long legs make walking impossible. Instead, they must bound sideways in a joyful, balletic dance. It may look comical, but it's an efficient way for this treetop specialist to cross the dangerous open ground. Deeper in the eastern rainforests, a sound echoes through the mist. It is one of the most evocative and haunting calls in the natural world, a sound that defines this ancient forest. This is the song of the Indri. It's a territorial call, used by small family groups to broadcast their presence to their neighbors, strengthening their family bonds in the process. The song can travel for over a mile, a mournful, beautiful declaration of their place in the world. These lemurs form monogamous pairs, and a family, a mother, a father, and their offspring will stay together for years. They are cherished by the local Malagasy people, who have long held them in sacred reverence. Many believe them to be their ancestors returned to the forest, a belief that, for a long time, granted them absolute protection from harm. This is Tavi. For generations, it has been the traditional way for Malagasy people to farm, but with a growing population and intense poverty forcing people to survive day to day, the practice has accelerated at an unsustainable rate. Every year, an area of forest the size of a major city is lost forever. For animals like the sifaka or the Indri, who are adapted to a life in the trees, deforestation is a death sentence. When the forest is gone, so are they. The threats don't stop there. As forests shrink, hunting for bushmeat increases, and the illegal pet trade puts a price on the heads of the rarest species. This fragmentation also creates isolated pockets of lemurs, cutting them off from breeding partners and shrinking their gene pool. Compounding it all is climate change, which brings more extreme droughts and cyclones, disrupting the delicate balance of these fragile ecosystems. But this is not a story without hope. Across Madagascar, a dedicated group of people are fighting back. They are the conservation heroes, scientists, guides, educators, and local community members who understand that the future of the lemurs is inextricably linked to the future of the Malagasy people. The solutions are complex, but they are working. Reforestation projects are reconnecting fragmented forests, planting vital corridors of native fruit trees that provide both food and passage. Ecotourism, when done responsibly, provides a powerful economic incentive for communities to protect their forests. It makes a living lemur far more valuable than a dead one. And education is empowering the next generation to become guardians of their unique natural heritage. From an impossible journey across the ocean, lemurs inherited an island. They transformed it into their kingdom, evolving into a family of breathtaking diversity. They are a living, breathing testament to the power of isolation and time. Their songs, their dances, their matriarchies, and their strange and wonderful adaptations are a priceless piece of our planet's story. But now, their story is in our hands. The fate of the lemurs is not sealed. It will be decided in the coming years by the choices we make. Saving them isn't just about protecting an animal. It's about supporting the people who share their home. It's about empowering communities with sustainable livelihoods, so they are not forced to choose between feeding their families and saving their forests. It's about finding a balance where both humans and wildlife can thrive.